Rockets over the battlefield. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. And the Rockets' red glare. The bombs James Harden throws from threes should have brought them the world title, but they can't beat the Warriors. Anyway, we're talking about the Houston Rockets. Houston as a franchise has been doing decently. But did you know that the Houston Rockets actually did not start in Houston? They were actually the San Diego Rockets. That's right, the Rockets were once in San Diego, and then they moved to Houston, and then Houston moved into the NBA as the Rockets. So the Houston Rockets in the 70s were not really well known. Houston was not known for their basketball. However, the 1980s would change a bit, and that was because of what they called the Twin Towers. Ralph Sampson from Virginia and Hakeem Olajuwon from the University of Houston. So anyway, with smart drafting and all that, the Rockets got Sampson and Olajuwon, two big men who basically helped Houston's front court. But did you know that Houston actually somehow made it to the 1981 NBA Finals as one of the crappiest teams to make the NBA Finals in history, and they took care of things against Boston? Well, Boston easily won the world title, but anyway, Houston didn't like themselves. But Houston had some decent players. And Sampson is the guy who is credited with giving Houston its place in 1986 when he and his Rockets shocked the Lakers in 5 games to win the 1986 Western Conference Finals and take on the Boston Celtics. Everyone wanted Celtics Lakers 3 in a sense. But, I mean, can you believe it? Sampson with that floating shot to win Game 5 shocked the Lakers on their court and faced the Celtics, who basically were unbeaten at home, if you will. Yeah, Houston didn't make it that far. But Houston got some pieces in the 80s and 90s that would help them. Well, 1994 was a big day. Houston started out fast. They won their first 15 games and had an 18-1 start. And everyone thought that Houston was going to easily run away with the NBA title without Michael Jordan standing in their way. But unfortunately, Seattle got past them. But Houston didn't panic. Instead, they got lucky when Seattle went out in the first round to the number 8 seed Denver Nuggets. And then Houston rode people like Kenny Smith, Hakeem Olajuwon, I don't know why I'm blanking on names. Mario Elie, Vernon Maxwell, the like. So anyway, the Houston Rockets were huge in 94. They faced the New York Knicks in the NBA Finals, and it was a catch-as-catch-can series. The Knicks took a 3-2 series lead after winning Game 5, which was in the shadow of the O.J. Simpson police chase, which was also the same day as the World Cup of Soccer starting, which was the same day as Arnold Palmer leaving the U.S. Open forever, which was the same day as the Rangers Stanley Cup parade, and which was the same day Ken Griffey Jr. stroked a big home run. Yes, that was June 17th, 1994. If you haven't watched that ESPN 30 for 30, it is legend fucking dairy. I have it on my computer. It's great. So anyway, legendary aside, June 17th, 1994 saw the Knicks take a 3-2 series lead. All the Knicks had to do was win one more game in Houston in Houston on the Sunday or the Wednesday. So the Knicks were ready to beat the Rockets on that Sunday in Game 6. They had a chance. John Starks had a 3 ball right there, and the ball deflected. Olajuwon's fingertip saved the day and forced a Game 7. Then John Starks showed why he is a choke artist. 1 for 17 shooting, I think. But basically, he went with what got him there, the 3 ball, when he could have hit some open jumpers and see what happened. Unfortunately, the Knicks couldn't do anything, and the Rockets won their NBA title without having to deal with Michael Jordan. In 1995, Houston was up against it. They were a 6 seed, even though they won 47 games. Houston decided to go for the juggler and trade for Clyde Drexler from Portland. Well, Houston knew what they were doing. Clyde Drexler is a former Houston Cougar, just like Olajuwon. So anyway, Clyde the Glide helped them out. And Houston beat 350-plus win teams to get to the NBA Finals. Obviously, Houston wasn't a 50-win team of their own. So it's amazing how much Clyde Drexler and Kenny Smith helped out. Then they would face Shaq, Penny, and the Orlando Magic in the NBA Finals. 3-1 in Orlando. And it looked like Orlando was going to win at home and crush everyone's spirits. Remember, Orlando's the team that took down Chicago, who had Michael Jordan in those 95 playoffs. So anyway, Nick Anderson to the line, missed free throw. Second, free throw he missed. But offensive rebound. They had to foul him. Now's a chance. Nick, just hit a free throw. No! Uh-oh. Okay, fourth one. No, he missed. And then Kenny Smith, 3-ball with a second left in the game. Ties it up. We go to overtime. Elijah Wan with that big tip in with half a second left in that overtime, and the Magic lose that game and lose momentum as Houston easily puts momentum and wins 4 games. So anyway, the Houston Rockets won back-to-back titles without Michael Jordan around. Despite that, they wanted to get another title. 97, they were close. They had Charles Barkley. They had a trip to the NBA Finals on their mind. Heck, who's the guy? I forgot who was the guy who hit. Eddie Johnson hit a key 3-pointer to win a big game. Unfortunately, he who lives by the bomb dies by the bomb. As in Game 6, John Stockton put up his own 3-bomb to send the Utah Jazz to the first ever NBA Finals. Rockets were furious at themselves. Rockets tried as they might in the 2000s, just couldn't do it. Aging Elijah Wan didn't work. Steve Francis found the lapse because he refused to play in Vancouver. And Houston treated him well. He was a legend, but his ego got out of the way, and Houston couldn't get the wins they needed. Houston got lucky when James Harden decided to leave the Oklahoma City Thunder and look elsewhere. He went to Houston. He helped Houston do pretty well for themselves, but Houston couldn't get past the Golden State Warriors even though they tried. Houston one time actually had a 3-1 series lead on the Warriors, that being 2018. That's the year we're doing. All they had to do was beat the Warriors one time, and they would have got themselves to the 2018 finals against LeBron and the Cavs. And no, they failed. Wait, it wasn't the Cavs, was it? No, it was the Cavs. Golden State, Cleveland, 3 straight years or something like that. Well, anyway, the Warriors won their third title in 4 years, and the Rockets went with nothing. So now, of course, we get them to the 2018 NBA Finals against LeBron and see if LeBron is as powerful as they say he is. All right, so it's the 2018 Rockets and the 2018 Cavaliers. 65 wins versus 50 wins. So let's see if the Rockets can get their title. I think they can. But playoff experience works as Cleveland crushes them 129-103 in Game 1. Amazing. 24 from LeBron, 24 from Caleb. Jeff Green, 15 points off the bench. Jay Crowder had 12 points. J.R. Smith, only 8. George Hill played 25 minutes without getting to start 7 minutes. Jose Calderon, point guard. Well, they needed somebody. Dwayne Wade can't play point guard. Dwayne Wade was on that 2018 Cavs team with LeBron. That's weird. Tristan Thompson, Canadian, was there too. Channing Frye. Ante Cisic. Isaiah Thomas. Boy, he really stunk it up after leaving Boston. C.D. Osman. Jordan Clarkson. Derrick Rose. They had Derrick Rose on the back half team. Larry Nance Jr. because his father played for the Cavs. Kendrick Perkins. Boy, I thought the Cavs would have it. Well, they won the game. Anyway, the 2018 Rockets, 20 from James Harden, 12 from Nene, came off the bench. Luke Mbamute, 10 points in 13 minutes off the bench. PJ Tucker did well off the bench. They had Eric Gordon, who was tired of losing with the Clippers. Ryan Weber, Bobby Brown, Chimanu Onoku, Joe Johnson. Oh, sweet, Joe Johnson. Tariq Black, Aaron Jackson, Markel Brown, Shuki, Brandon Wright, Torrey Williams, and R.J. Hunter. R.J. Hunter. I remember him making that 3-pointer for Georgia State, and I actually won that production. Joe Johnson. Yep, that's my man, Joe Johnson, from Atlanta and Brooklyn. Yay. My Arkansas buddy. Game 2 sees a different tale. Houston wins 112-102. 30 from LeBron. They basically don't need the man. Tristan Thompson played 19 minutes without a fucking point. Channing Frye played 9 fewer minutes than Tristan, and he scored 5 points. Fuck. The Rockets 33 from James Harden, 14 from Capella and Anderson. James Harden just said, I'm going to do it myself. Joe Johnson's not there. Fuck. What's Joe Johnson played? Anyway, game 3. Sees the Warrior. Well, the Rockets win 98-88. 29 from Paul, 26 from Harden. Basically, they're a great 1-2 punch. Nene, 12 points off the bench in 16 minutes. The Cavs, 19 from LeBron, 14 from George Hill. Nobody else scored in double digits. On game 4, which we see the Rockets win 116-112. It was close, though. They actually had a 19-point lead at the half. Eric Gordon put us up 20 points off the bench. 31 from James Harden, 16 from Chris Paul. Well, Eric Gordon should be starting instead of like Chris Paul, but anyway. The Cavs, 36 from LBJ, 13 from Dwayne Wade, and he wasn't even starting. So yeah, great job, like LeBron, but in the end they lose. So it looks like Houston may have this one. Oh yeah, that's right. It's 2-2-1-1. So Houston will host game 5. They got it this time. Yep, they did. I had a hunch that Houston was going to win and get. So that's the 9th NBA team that got their happy ever after. 109-104. Cleveland just couldn't do it. LeBron and Kevin Love combined for 58 points, but nobody else could do anything. Although Tristan Thompson scored 8 points off the bench. 23 from Chris Paul, 14 from Capella, 15 from James Harden. My boy Joe Johnson did not get the title because Joe Johnson played for the Cavs. I thought he played for the Rockets, but anyway. 10 points from Eric Gordon off the bench. So Houston did get their happy ever after. I kind of figured as much, but you know what? Screw convention. The Rockets were here to stay and should have been here to stay.